In this video, I will walk you through the theme editor. You can see here, if you are in the presentation tab over here, click on this theme editor. Now this is basically the direct source code of the WordPress theme. You can see on the right hand side over here, it has all the files: styles, sheet, the not found.php, single post, archives, functions. It has all the files that are able for you to edit if you know what to do. So you can see you can edit a lot of pages. If you just click, it will bring you to the source code of the page on here, right here, and you can edit this. Now take note that in my previous video I showed you how to change the custom image header, okay, over here. Now this is very important for you to know. As you can see, this is a Misty Look Options tab and also a custom image header tab. Now this doesn't necessarily appear on all WordPress theme, but these two options appear because the developer of the theme has included these two options to be integrated into the WordPress admin area over here if you use the theme. So sometimes, or most of the times, I see that you will only have three options over here, which is the themes, widgets, and theme editor. So most themes, or I can say many themes which I've also come across, they do not have this options tab or custom image header. It's just that this developer makes it more user friendly for the person using this to edit their image header and to configure their options. So if these two options are not available, most of the time you will need to use this theme editor over here, and you need to edit the code in order for you to do the necessary changes, like replacing the header, the footer, and so on. Now I'll show you an example. This is my own blog over here. Okay, it is located at amirsalim.com. This is my own blog, and I'm using the glossy blue theme. Okay, and you can see this is the style.css file. Now for me, in order for me to change my image header, I will need to go to this code. You can see here, it is found here, header area, background URL, and this is the direct path to my image header. So let's open up. I will open my site for you to view. Open in a new tab. There you can see this image header. It has been replaced directly from the source code. So I change the source code to point this area, the header area, to point to the header image on my server. Now you can see over here, I have a different look in terms of the menu, because this is a new plugin. That means I'm using a different plugin, and I will show you this in the next video series on how you can get this plugin and how you can install it on your own server, because it looks much nicer. Now you can see this presentation, there are only three. This presentation area, there are themes, widgets, and theme editor. As for the section over here, the presentation, there are 5. Like I've said, these two options, which is the Misty Look options and the custom image header, is inserted or included by the developer of this theme. So the theme that I'm using for my blog right now, you can see here, the glossy blue, it doesn't have the extra or the additional options, which is why I need to do a longer way, or I need to find the necessary source code and to edit it directly from the code. So this can be very daunting task, and normally those who use a particular WordPress theme will ask directly from the developer of the theme, to ask them directly where they can find the code, the necessary code which they need to make changes in order for them to accomplish a certain task. So like this one, this is an example. You can see among many codes over here, you'll have to directly find where the code is, so it's quite troublesome. Now let's see, this header image has the height 190. If I change over here, come 200 or 210, okay, this is just an example. And if I click on the update file button over here, okay, and if I refresh, you will see something changes to the header. Okay, let's see, refresh again. Now probably the size doesn't make any difference at all because the changes is quite small. So let's say I change it to, let's find it, okay, that's the height. Let's say I change it to 250 pixels, that's the height, and I update the file. Okay, let's see. I think this needs to be refreshed many times. Copy and okay, let's see. I'll refresh this, and there you go. You can see the header has been the header area here has been edited because I have increased the height area to 250 pixels. So this looks a bit awkward and out of place. So but I just want to show you an example on how this changing or editing of the theme over here will affect the overall look of the block. Okay, so I'll change it back to my original settings. Okay, there you go. I'll change it back to 190 pixel, and I update the file. So now let's go back to the admin area over here. So like I've said, you really need to know what to do. You really need to know exactly where to find the code. So normally you will ask this from the developer of the WordPress theme himself or herself. Okay, now let's see if you want to edit this file. You can see here the style.css file. Now you notice that there are no buttons over here for me to edit it. In fact, it says if this file were writable, you could edit it. Now unlike my blog over here, there is an update file, whereas for this one it doesn't have. And the reason is because the file over here has been configured to not allowing people to write the files. That means the files are not writable, which is why it says over here if this file were writable, you could edit it. So in order for you to change these settings to make it writable, you'll have to change the permissions of the file. So for example, let's go to my FTP client, and I'll need to go to my themes over here, themes folder or directory, and go to the directory or the folder which has the theme which is currently being used. So it's Misty Look. So I go into the directory. Now you can see all the files are over here. So since I want to change the CSS file, there you go, the style.css file, I'll need to change the permission. Right click, go to properties or the change mode, and I'll need to change the permissions to 777 to make it writable. Okay, once I've done that, I click on OK, and there you go, the permissions has been changed. So let's go back and I will refresh this page, and you should see the button over there, over here. Okay, so let's see. Okay, there you go. This update file button is over here, so you can update or you can edit the file over here, the code, and then once you are done, just click on the update file. Now if you are done, then you'll just change the permissions settings back to 644 for this case. So do the same for the rest. If you want to change the header, the sidebar, the links, you have to find the files over here and make sure that it is writable. Change the permissions to 777, and once it's writable, then you can edit, or you can change the code over here and click on the update file button. So that's all for this tutorial.